Mara's fingers clamped the severed artery in Princess Tali's neck. Blood slicked her gloves, but the flow stopped. The child's violet scales pulsed faintly under the pressure. "Clear space!" Mara barked at the armored guards crowding the marble chamber. "Back off, or she'll bleed out." Keshral, the royal guard captain, loomed closest. His crest flared yellow, warning color she recalled from briefings. He gripped his plasma lance tighter. "Human," he growled, mandibles clicking. "You presume much," the princess whimpered. Her small chest heaved, fused armor plates from the blast digging into her ribs. Shrapnel wounds wept green ichor across the floor. Mara ignored him. She yanked her medkit open one-handed. "Captain, your choice. Help or hinder." "Move." Keshral's eyes narrowed. He scanned her kit. Human tech, compact, unlabeled. Then he shoved 2 guards aside.
"Space, now."
The circle widened. Courtiers whispered from the edges, their iridescent robes shimmering. Chancellor Freth stood at the forefront, his polished claws steepled. He watched without a word. Mara pulled her pocket heater. She flicked it on, blue flame hissing. The alien physicians clustered forward, waving crystal probes. "Out!" Mara snapped. "Your tools are too slow." One physician hissed, antennae twitching. "Insolent off-worlder. We know Veyran anatomy. Not like this." Mara sterilized her scalpel blade in the flame. It glowed cherry red. She pressed it to the fused armor at Tali's shoulder. Sizzle! Melted plasteel peeled back like burnt skin. Tali screamed, a high keening that echoed off vaulted ceilings. Mara clamped another bleeder mid-cry. "Easy, kiddo," she murmured. "Almost there." The armor came free in jagged chunks. Beneath, a deep laceration gaped across the child's torso. Shrapnel had torn through scales and muscle. Mara squeezed field gel from a hypo. Clear sealant oozed into the rents, hardening on contact. Vessels knit shut, green blood clotting beneath. Airway next. Tali's breaths rattled wet. Mara tilted the small head back, inserted a tube. Suction cleared the blockage. Clear wheeze now. Stable. She checked vitals on her wrist scanner. Pulse steadying. O2 sats climbing. Clap of claws. Queen Veyra Sarin swept in, her crown gems flashing. Taller than the guards, her presence silenced the room. She shoved past the physicians who bowed low. "Enough," the queen commanded, her voice cut like a blade. "Human, you lead." The physicians recoiled. Chancellor Wraith stepped forward. "Majesty, protocol." Silence wreath. Veyra's gaze locked on Mara, crimson eyes unblinking. "She saves my heir. You watch." Mara nodded once. No time for politics. She injected broad-spectrum nanomeds into Tali's thigh. The child relaxed, eyes fluttering. Keshral knelt beside her. "How?" "Our gels fail on blast wounds." "Human gel bonds faster," Mara said, stripping bloody gloves. "Seals under pressure." He grunted approval. Crest shifted to green. "Trust?" Tali stirred. "Mama?" Veyra knelt, claws gentle on her daughter's crest. "Here, little one." Mara monitored. "No internal bleeds. Good." Chancellor Freth cleared his throat. "Majesty, the humans' methods are unverified. The court requires oversight." Veyra rose, towering over him. "Oversight killed my scouts. This human mends what you broke." Queen Aelthra. Freeth's mandibles tightened. "The blast was rebel work. Unrelated." "Was it?" Veyra's tail lashed. She turned to Mara. "Dr. Klein, your ship aided our fleet. Now you aid my blood." Mara wiped sweat from her brow. "Just doing my job, Your Majesty." "Not just." Veyra signaled Keshral. "Captain, escort her to royal quarters." "Full guard." Keshral saluted. Mara blinked.
"Quarters? She's stable."
"I can... No." Veyra's claw pointed. "You bond to us now." The room gasped. Freeth's eyes widened. "Majesty, an off-worlder? By decree." Veyra's voice boomed. "Immediate marriage bond." "Doctor." Mara Klein weds Princess Tali's line. "You protect her life, as consort." Mara's stomach dropped. "Marriage? To an alien child? No. Bond meant proxy. Guardianship. But alien customs. I'm a doctor, not... You are now." Veyra's gaze softened a fraction. Her wounds hide sabotage. Fused armor. Timed charges. Court whispers. Keshral gripped Mara's arm. Firm, but not rough. Come. Safely. Kreeth bowed stiffly. As you command, Queen. Though tradition bends. Vera lifted Tali effortlessly. The child nestled against her. Human compassion holds empires. Guards flanked Mara as Keshral led her from the chamber. Corridors twisted, walls etched with glowing runes. Whispers followed. Why me? Mara asked low. Keshral glanced back. You acted. No hesitation. Physicians debate. You cut. Training. More. His crest stayed green. I tested your kit earlier. Scanned clean. Competent. Ally. Maybe. They reached a vaulted door. It irised open to opulent quarters. Silk drapes, crystal baths, a bed larger than her ship's medbay. Stay here, Keshral said. Queen's orders. Food comes, guards outside. Mara entered. Door sealed. He paced. Marriage bond? Enforced proximity. Politics now. A chime. Hollow screen flickered. Chancellor Reth's face appeared. Dr. Klein. His smile didn't reach his eyes. A momentous day. Walk with me tomorrow? Discuss. Succession. Trap. Leverage. No thanks, Mara said. Duty calls. She cut the link, pulled her scanner, cross-checked Tali's last readings. Stable, but the shrapnel. Mara replayed the wounds. Armor fused inward, not outward blast. Sabotage. Someone rigged it. Door chime again. Keshral entered with a tray, steaming protein slabs, nutrient gel. Eat, he said. You expend energy. Thanks. Mara took it. Captain, the princess's armor. Who fitted it? He paused. Palace armorer, under Freeth's faction. There. Conspiracy. Watch him. Mara said. Keshral nodded. Already do. You see true. He left. Mara ate. Mind racing. Bonded now. Pulled in. Night fell. Stars wheeled outside the balcony. Alien politics, human hands. Tali would live. But who struck next? A shadow moved in the corridor feed. Her scanner hacked palace cams. Kreeth's silhouette, whispering to cloaked figures. Mara gripped her medkit. Time to play consort. Queen Vera's voice echoed in memory. You protect her life. She would, and uncovered the blade behind the blast. But first, sleep. Tomorrow, the court tested her. Dawn light filtered through crystal panes. Mara dressed in provided robes. Silk clung oddly to human skin. No weapons allowed, but her kit stayed. Keshral waited outside. Queen summons. Throne room. They walked. Guards parted. Whispers louder now. Consort. Human healer. Throne room buzzed. Vera sat elevated. Tali bandaged beside her, playing with a glowing orb. Shreeth stood below. Majesty, the bond requires ratification. Human customs clash. Vera waved him off. She saved Tali. Ratify. Mara approached. Tali beamed. Doc, you fixed me. Kid stuff. Mara ruffled her crest. Soft scales. Shreeth smiled thinly. Impressive, but can you heal politics? Rebels gather. Distraction. Keshral tensed beside her. Vera leaned forward. Speak true, Chancellor, or Dr. Klein examines you. Freeth's scales flushed violet. He bowed low. Majesty, I speak only palace truth. The human's bond demands full ratification. Tradition requires the consort's oath. Mara stepped forward. Tali's orb floated toward her hand. She caught it, squeezed gently. The princess giggled. Focus sharpened her. No time for games. I refuse the marriage decree. Mara's voice cut clear. I'm a doctor. Give me written medical authority over Tali. Full access. No interference. Gasps rippled through the court. Scales shifted colors. Shock in teal waves. Keshral's hand twitched toward his blade hilt. He held back. Vera's eyes narrowed, golden slits appraising. Refusal? You bear my mark. She tapped her temple. The biometric seal pulsed under Mara's skin, warm and insistent. Mark or not, I treat patients, not politics. Mara met the Queen's gaze. Authority first. Or Tali's recovery stalls. Preeth smirked. Humans bargain boldly. But law binds you. The decree. Vera silenced him with a raised claw. Dr. Klein saves my heir. Outcomes matter. She gestured. A scribe glided forward, crystal tablet glowing. Sign. Medical authority granted. In exchange, the bond seals. Consort duties included. Mara scanned the tablet. Legalese scrolled in holographic script. Sarnian runes mixed with ship standard English. Her implant translated fast. Standard waiver. Then a flicker. Hidden clause buried in subtext. Consort inherits regency veto if heir expires. Leverage. If Tali died, Mara controlled the throne. Poisoner's dream. She tapped reject. Hidden clause. Rewrite it clean. Courtiers hissed. Reef leaned in. Insolence. Protocol. Quiet. Vera snatched the tablet. Claws danced over it. Claws vanished. Done. Authority yours. Now seal. No choice. Mara pressed thumb to the pad. Biometric lock hummed. Ink bloomed on her palm. Queen's crest intertwined with Tali's. Permanent. Tali clapped. Doc staying. Vera nodded. Treatment schedule. Now, Mara pulled her medkit slate. Daily vitals. Twice weekly tissue regen. Isolation till immunity rebuilds. Guards on rotation. 2 outside her door. 1 inside. No visitors without my scan. Keshral saluted. I assign them. Preeth bowed out. Smile gone. Court dispersed. Mara knelt by Tali. Rest now, kid. I'll check burns later. The princess hugged her leg, scales soft against fabric. Trust warmed Mara's chest. Earned it. Keshral touched her elbow. Escort. To quarters. Protocols first. They strode corridors lit by vein glow walls. Palace hummed. Servos whirring. Distant chants. Rules. Keshral said. No solo movement. Bow to royals. Yield paths to guards. Mara nodded. Scan every door. Log entries. He blinked. You dictate? Standard quarantine. She tapped her slate. Tali's life. Follow or relieve you. Scales rippled respect gold. Efficient. Humans cut waste. A side hall branched. Footsteps echoed. Keshral shoved her behind a pillar. 2 cloaked figures passed. Preeth's aides whispering, toxin yield. Mara's scanner pinged silent alert. They vanished. Keshral growled. Conspiracy festers. Log it. Mara straightened robes. We watch. Quarters loomed. Suite carved from luminous stone. Balcony overlooking spires. Keshral posted guards. Learn fast. Court tests tomorrow. Always does. Door sealed behind her. Mara unpacked kit. Slate synced with palace cams. Partial access from Queen's Grant. Feeds flickered. Tali sleeping. Vitals green. Throne room empty. Preeth's office dark. Hunger gnawed. She ate ration bar. Mind mapped threats. Bond pulled her deep. Compassion started this. Competence kept her alive. Chime sounded. Door slid. Servant bowed. Tray balanced. Scaled hands trembled. Medicine. Consort doctor. From Chancellor Stores. For your service. Vial gleamed. Amber liquid. Sarnian region serum. Mara took it. Leave. Door shut. She uncapped scanner wand. Droplet test. Screen flared red. Neurotoxin. Keyed to human biology. Lethal dose. Poison. Direct hit. She sealed vial. Tagged sample. Slate recorded. Preeth's move. Turn healer to corpse. Trigger hidden claws. No. Claws protected Tali's line through Mara. Footsteps outside. Keshral's voice barked orders. Her guard shifted. Mara pocketed evidence. Kit restocked. Antidote prepped, just in case. Dawn Council loomed. Rebels gathered. Reeth said, truth or bait. Tali's face flashed on slate. Smiling. Mara gripped vial. They'd try again. She dimmed lights. Balcony stars mocked her. Human in alien web. But webs broke. A new ping. Cam feed. Preeth entering servant quarters. Servant collapsed, convulsing. Silenced witness. Mara's jaw set. Game on. Queen wanted protector. She'd deliver. But first, expose the blade. Tomorrow, court saw human justice. Keshral's tone buzzed. Intruder alert. You're sweet. She armed scanner. Door hissed open. He burst in, blade drawn. Clear, report, poison delivered. Mara held up vial. Tested, human specific. His crest flared. Affirm. She synced data. To his gauntlet. We move. Now. They ran corridors. Guards trailed. Palace stirred. Arms low. Wraith's office neared. Locked. Mara slapped scanner override. Queen authority bypassed. Inside. Desks. Hollows. Drawers rifled. Empty toxin vials matched hers. Keshral snarled. Proof. Not enough. Mara pocketed shard. Confront tomorrow. Trap him. Footfalls approached. They melted into shadows. Dawn broke. Throne room called. Mara dressed. Robes hid kit. Bond mark itched. Tali needed her. Breath waited. Smiling. She'd smile back. With fangs. Vera's voice from memory. You protect her life. Deeper now. Uncover the rot. Human hands mended more than flesh. Corridor cam glitched. Cloaked figure slipped toward Tali's wing. Mara bolted. Keshral matched stride. Race began. Mara's boots skidded on the polished corridor floor as she rounded the corner. The cloaked figure vanished through Tali's wing doors 20 meters ahead. Keshral surged past, blade humming to life. Flank left, she barked, scanner beeping poison traces in the air. He nodded, crest rigid. They burst into the antechamber. Nobles scattered from incense braziers, acrid smoke curling like serpents. The figure knelt by Tali's bed, hood falling back, a trembling servant girl clutching a fresh censer. Tali whimpered from silk-draped pillows, her small crest flickering weakly. Drop it, Mara snapped, lunging. She snatched the censer mid-air, hot metal searing her palm. She ignored the burn, slamming it into her containment field. Scanner screamed. Airborne toxin, keyed to Sarn physiology. The servant collapsed, sobbing. Chancellor's orders. Tradition demands the smoke, tradition kills. Mara activated her suit's filter array, pulling clean air into a 10-meter bubble around the bed. Keshral, vent the room. Now. He sliced the brazier chains. Incense rained into recyclers, sucked away. Nobles gasped, crests flaring in outrage. Blasphemy, one hissed, jeweled robes swirling. The princess requires ritual purification. Mara faced them, voice steel. Your purification carries neurotoxin. Step back or join the servant in custody. Her field hummed, sterile blue light sealing the zone. She dragged a med cart over, ridding portable filters from ship spares, alien vents too porous for her standards. Keshral hauled the servant out. Doors hissed shut behind him. Tali's monitors beeped erratically, vitals dipping. Mara calibrated them fast. No time for palace text drift. She pricked her own finger, ran a human baseline through the alien pads, heart rate steady at 72, oxygen saturation 99. Her blood synced the readouts, forcing accuracy. Tali's numbers stabilized, fever down 0.8 degrees. The princess's eyes cracked open, violet slits focusing. Dr. Mara, the smoke hurts. Fixed. Mara adjusted the drip, her palm throbbing under bandages. No more incense. My air now. Tali's small hand gripped her sleeve. Stay? Tell Earth story? Mara glanced at the door. Nobles murmured outside. One story. Watch me. She launched into a quick tale. Human explorers on a storm world, building shelters from wind. Tali's grip tightened on pain spikes, loosened on relief. Classic check. No neural bleed. Footfalls thudded. Keshral returned. Gauntlet synced. Servant confessed. Wreath supplied the sensor. For the heir's peace. Mara's jaw tightened. Leverage. Hygiene first. Scrub. She thrust gel dispensers at him. Under nails. Between scales. Enforce on everyone entering. His crest twitched. Insult? But he complied, lathering forearms. Your human rituals? Primitive, effective. She demonstrated air-drying hands. One breach, Tali dies. You're her shield. Act it. He nodded, blade sheathed, first crack in his armor. Nobles pressed the door panel. It overrode Mara's queen-granted codes held. Chancellor Wreath's voice boomed through the intercom. Dr. Klein, release the patient. Protocol demands my oversight. Medical authority supersedes. Mara patched her scanner feed to the outer display, toxin graphs spiking. Your oversight poisoned her twice. Stand down. Preeth's polished face filled the screen, eyes narrowing. You overstep, bond servant. The Queen's decree binds you to service, not sabotage. Bond mark itched under her robes, Feyre's iridescent tattoo pulsing like a claim. Arranged union. Queen's word. Protector wife to the throne. Mara straightened. Service means keeping her alive. Try again, I quarantine you. Silence. Then, notes taken. Screen blanked. Keshral's comb buzzed. Throne room summons. Dawn audience. Queen awaits. Mara checked Tali's drip. Stable. Guard her. I'll handle court. He barred the door. We both go. Wreath plots. She nodded, pocketing toxin shards from the sensor. Proof stacked. Corridors blurred as they ran to the throne hall. Guards saluted Keshral, eyes widening at her human stride. Palace stirred. Whispers of the incense heresy. Throne room doors parted on golden light. Queen Feyre loomed on her dais, crest arched high, flanked by holographic succession charts. Creth stood at her right, serene. Nobles filled benches, crests rippling tension. Mara strode forward, Keshral at her flank. Feyre's gaze locked, strategic, appraising. The bond tugged, warm thread in her veins. Report, Feyre commanded, voice echoing like thunder. Mara activated her gauntlet projector. Holos bloomed, poison vials from Wreath's office. Servant confession. Incense spectra matching Tali's near miss. Chancellor engineered 3 attempts. Human-specific toxin on my tray, bait to discredit me. Airborne kill for her. Gasps rippled. Prayeth's polish cracked. Lies from a bond pet. Tested. Match your drawers at his feet. Match your drawers. Queen authorized scan. Feyre's claw tapped the armrest. Captain? Keshral stepped up. Confirmed. The servant named him. My guards hold her, Preeth sneered. The human contaminates our rights. Incense is sacred. Your sacred smoke carries death. Mara cut in. I sealed Tali's wing. Filters run. She's stable because I banned it. Nobles shifted. One elder crest flared approval. The healer's air saved the air. Feyre leaned forward. Demonstrate. Mara synced her clean zone feed. Tali's vitals glowed steady. Nobles leaned in, murmuring. Human filters. Improvised triumph. Wreath recovered. A trick. The bond forces loyalty. This off-worlder seeks throne leverage. Feyre's eyes narrowed on Mara. Do you? Mara met her gaze. Bond hummed. Compulsion or choice? I seek Tali alive. Your decree binds me. But humans men trust with action, not plots. Silence stretched. Feyre rose, robes whispering. Chancellor, your accounts freeze. Investigation proceeds. She turned to Mara. You teach hygiene to my guard? Keshral dipped his head. It works, Majesty. Feyre's crest softened. A rare smile. Then teach the court. Bond protector, your zone expands. To the palace. Kraith paled. Mara felt his glare burn. Notes taken, indeed. But Tali's ping came soft. Vitals perfect. Trust earned. Keshral leaned close as they exited. You turned their ritual to ruin. Preth won't forget. She flexed her bandaged hand. Neither will I. Alarms wailed. Low wing breach. Cloaked shadow on cams again. Feyre's voice crackled. Protector, move. Mara bolted, bond igniting. Game escalated. Mara sprinted down the corridor, boots pounding polished stone. Alarms shrieked overhead. The bond in her wrist throbbed, hot, insistent, pulling her toward Tali's low wing chamber. Cloaked shadow on the cams. Another assassin. She burst through the doors. Princess Tali sat up in bed, eyes wide, clutching a data slate. A disguised attendant in palace livery lunged from the shadows, blade glinting. He aimed for the child's throat. Mara dove. She slammed into the attacker mid-stride, shoulder driving into his ribs. The blade sliced her forearm, inches from Tali's pillow. Blood welled hot. They crashed to the floor. Stay back, Mara snarled. She pinned his arm, yanked her hypo from her belt. Needle plunged into his neck. Fast sedative flooded his veins. His eyes rolled. Body went limp. Tali whimpered. Mara glanced. Child unharmed. Relief surged. Keshral charged in behind her, plasma rifle raised. 2 guards flanked him.
Lock the wing!
Mara barked.
Full seal!
No one in or out. Keshral nodded sharp. Doors hissed shut. Doors hissed shut. Air filters hummed to life. Mara rolled off the attacker. She pressed her sleeve to her cut. Shallow, clotting fast. First, the princess. Tali's blankets tangled around reopened bandages on her side. Assassin must have yanked her during the lunge. Hold still, Tali. Mara worked quick. Antiseptic spray, fresh seals, nanites knit the wound. Vitals beeped steady on her wrist scanner. The attacker twitched. Mara scanned him. Pheromone trace lit up. Distinct marker, not palace standard. She recorded it, synced to the Queen's secure net. Evidence logged. Keshral knelt, cuffed the limp form. Your arm. Later. Mara stood. Bond pulsed approval. Tali's gaze clung to her, crests fluttering calm. Queen Veyra's voice boomed from the chamber speakers. Court assembles. Grand Hall. Now, Protector Klein attends. Mara wiped blood on her pants. No time to clean. Keshral led her out, guards dragging the attacker. Palace corridors blurred past, nobles scattering like startled avians. Grand Hall thronged. Crystal chandeliers cast fractal light. Queen Veyra dominated the dais, crest rigid. Chancellor Hreath stood at her side, polished scales gleaming. Elders and faction heads filled tiered benches. Veyra's gaze locked on Mara. Report. Mara stepped forward. Wound throbbed, but she stood tall. Assassin breached low wing. Disguised as attendant. Blade for the princess. Eye intercepted. She projected the cam feed. Her tackle, the hypostrike. Pheromone trace overlaid. Gasps rippled. Tali's empty bed loomed holographic. Human took the steel. An elder murmured. Crests flared wonder. Veyra raised a claw. Silence fell. This is the 3rd strike since Protector Klein bound. Her clean zone holds. Filters repel their poisons. She turned to the court. Oaths, public. Swear fealty to the heir, or face my justice. Hreath stepped forward, robes swirling. Majesty. Wisdom tempers haste. The bond compels this offworlder. Leverage walks among us. Mara's jaw tightened. Bond hummed. Veyra's decree etched in her veins. Enforced proximity, no escape. Veyra ignored him. Oaths. Begin. One by one, nobles knelt. Claws touched crystal podiums. Voices echoed vows. Keshral stood sentinel at Mara's shoulder, rifle low but ready. Waited till the last. He approached Mara during the recess, smile oily.
Impressive, Doctor. But courts demand protection.
Accept my terms. Palace wing under my guard. Your treatments logged. In exchange, full royal access. Mara met his eyes. Pheromone trace matched his faction. Subtle, but her scanner caught it. No. His crest flickered. The Queen decreed bond. Protocol binds. In front of her, Mara nodded to the dais. Veyra watched. Wraith paled. He pivoted. Majesty, the Protector rejects alliance. Wraith faction offers safeguard. Veyra's eyes narrowed. She rejects you. Court hears. Mara projected her scan. Pheromone trace. Attackers matches hearth retainers. 3 data points now. Murmurs exploded. Elders' crests spiked outrage. Lies! Hreath hissed. Fabricated by bond compulsion. Keshral growled low. My guards scrubbed clean. Her methods work. Veyra rose. Chancellor. Detained. Full audit. Guards seized him. He thrashed, but plasma locks held. Silence crashed. Veyra turned to Mara. You draw their blades and turn them. Mara flexed her bandaged forearm. Sting faded under sealant. Humans patch what breaks. Tali lives. That's the outcome. Tali's voice piped from a secure feed. Child safe in sealed medbay. Mara saved me again. Veyra's crest softened fractionally. Rare warmth. Bond Protector expands. You train my healers. Full access. Nobles bowed. Mara felt eyes. Admiration mixed with fear. Human normal. Competence. They're extraordinary. Keshral leaned in as they exited. Hreath's web phrase, but his allies lurk. Bond tugged. toward Vera's private wing. Forced proximity deepened. Mara's pulse quickened. Queen's gaze lingered too long. Alarms flickered. Subtle ping on her scanner. Trace in the vents. Not over. Mara tapped her comm. Keshral. Purge vents. Now. He moved. She followed the bond. Game far from won. Deeper in the palace, shadows shifted. Mara reached Vera's antechamber. Doors parted. Queen waited alone, robes shed to simple silk. Wound on Mara's arm caught light. Sit. Vera commanded, not a request. Mara obeyed. Bond thrummed, compulsion laced with curiosity. Vera's claws worked a regenerator over the cut. Precise, gentle, alien touch cool against skin. You bleed for my daughter. Vera's voice softened. Humans, mend without demand. Job's not done till stable. Mara watched her. Queen's crest lay flat, vulnerable. Strategic monarch, trading tradition. For this? Vera paused. Preeth sought your leash. I bind you free. Trust earned in blood. Mara's breath caught. Proximity enforced, but spark ignited. Queen's eyes held hers. Paramony shift. Subtle invitation. Interspecies pull. Footsteps echoed. Keshral entered. Vents clear, but scout reports faction ships inbound. Vera straightened. Protector. Armory. We hold. Mara stood. Arm healed. Flawless. Bond ignited. Protective fire. Tali safe. Queen close. Politics pulled her deeper. Blade in the dark, waited. They moved as unit. Mara checked her hypo. Loaded with counters. Keshral handed her a sidearm. Your filters. My steel. Vera led to the air. Corridors narrowed. Distant blasts rocked stone. Breach at outer gates. Preeth's play. Mara's scanner pinged. Ambush ahead. 3 heat sigs. Flank left, she whispered. Keshral pivoted. Vira drew a concealed dagger. Monarch's edge. They hit the junction. Assassins lunged. Cloaked. Blades poisoned. Mara sedated the first. Keshral downed the second with rifle burst. Vera slashed the third's throat. Efficient. Regal. Blood sprayed. Mara scanned residue. Same trace. Praeth loyalists. Vera wiped her blade. Port fractures. Your proof binds them. Tali's chamber neared. Guards held the door. Inside, child waited. Eyes bright. Mara! Hug brief. Bandages rustled. Bond soothed. Alarms spiked anew. Queen's comm crackled. Fleet inbound. Preeth calls coup. Vera's crest flared battle ready. Protector. Your plan. Mara synced palace cams. Mara's fingers flew across the palace cam feed. Red blips swarmed the outer halls. Preeth's faction breaching inner gates. Tali's door burst open. The princess bolted forward, tiny arms outstretched. Mara scooped her up, hypo ready. Stable. We're moving. Vera's crest pulsed approval. Protector. Seal the route. Keshral slammed the bulkhead shut, rifle trained outward. Blasts echoed closer. Mara scanned Tali's bandages. No fresh bleeds. Good. She clipped the scanner to her belt and nodded to Vera. Ward evac. My call. Queen's eyes locked on hers. Pheromone haze thickened. Bond pull sharpening. Agreed. To the royal wing. They sprinted down service tunnels. Keshral point. Vera rearguard. Tali clung to Mara's neck. Breath steady. Alarms wailed. A grate rattled ahead. Keshral fired. Silenced burst. Dropped a saboteur. Clear. They hit the royal apartment block. Armored doors hissed open. Vera keyed overrides. This suite is yours now, healer Mara. Guarded. Constant escort. Keshral posted 2 sentries at the entrance. Inside, sterile med bays adjoined sleeping quarters. Silk walls, glow panels. Mara set Tali down on the exam bed. Full audit. Vera crossed her arms, crest low. You demand much for a bondmate. Mara ignored the title's weight. She pulled vials from her kit. Human synth blood. Alien antivenin. Supplies first. I audited every reagent entering this ward. Palace chains, now. Her voice stayed flat. Hands already unpacking. Keshral grunted from the door. Chancellor's warehouses. Locked tight. Vera waved him silent. Granted. Protector. Escort her personally. Mara met the Queen's gaze. Bond thrummed. Trust edged with heat. Start with Tali's injury logs. Cross-reference. Hours blurred. Mara tore through supply manifests on a holopad. Kesh shadowed her, hauling crates from lower levels. Reagents mismatched. Diluted coagulants, tainted neural blocks. She flagged them, swapped in her ship's reserves. Tali watched from the bed, eyes wide. You fix everything, Mara? Step by step, Mara injected a booster, watched vitals green. Vera entered mid-audit, robes swapped for battle mesh. Report. Mara slid the pad over. Sabotage in the lines. Not external. Internal routing. Queen's jaw tightened. Preeth's reach. Dawn cycle lit the panels. Vera summoned Mara to the negotiation chamber. Kesh stood post. Boundaries healer. The bond decree binds you to court, but command splits. Mara sat. Hypo on the table like a gavel. Emergencies. Shared protocol. My med calls override yours unless fleet-wide. No unvetted staff near Tali. Your politics stay out of my ward. Vera leaned in. Pheromones coiling. And intimacy? Heat flushed Mara's skin. Interspecies spark undeniable. Mutual. No force. Queen traced a claw along the pad. Sign. They pressed thumbs. Holoseal glowed. Protocol locked. Kesh exhaled. Wise. Faction whispers grow. Public right came at cycle peak. Vera led Mara to the grand balcony. Court assembled below. Crests flaring in sunglare. Drums throbbed. Bondmate's step is one. Queen extended a ritual cord. Woven nerve threads humming. Mara took the other end without pause. Steps mirrored. Forward. Pivot. Clasp. Crowd murmured. Aliens recoiled at human steadiness. No flinch. No pheromone sway. Vera's grip tightened. Eyes gleaming. You honor us. Mara felt the cord pulse. Link deepening. Tali cheered from the dais. Kesh scanned the throng. Rifle subtle. Right ended. Cheers erupted, but Mara's scanner buzzed. Residual data from Tali's wound. Back in the suite, Tali napped. Mara unrolled the princess's injury holos. Claw marks jagged. Precise. She overlaid palace issue logs. Training batons from staff armory. Match perfect. Serrated edge. Toxin grooves. Kesh. He loomed in the doorway. Patterns internal. Batten from your guard spares. His crest flattened. Shock rippling. Impossible. Mara tapped the hollow. Serial trace. Issued to Hearth's Rhoda. Wound angle screams close quarters. Trusted hand. Vera stormed in, fresh from council. What proof? Mara projected it. Queen's pheromone spiked fury. Chancellor engineers from shadows. Kesh gripped his rifle. I verify. He bolted, escorts trailing. Vera turned to Mara. Close now. Bond. Heat electric. The marriage shields the probe. Public unity covers your hunt. Reith believes you leashed. Mara's pulse raced. Human calm met alien fire. We audit deeper. Supplies were step one. Explosions rocked the outer spires. Faction pushback. Vera drew her dagger. To the council vault. Evidence there. Mara loaded her hypo with paralytics. Grabbed the sidearm Kesh gifted. Tali stirred. Safe? Mara kissed her brow. Locked down. Guards tripled. They plunged into corridors. Servos whirred. Bulkhead ceiling. Kesh comm crackled. Vault breached. Reith's elite inside. Vera's eyes burned. We reclaim it. Mara synced cams again. Hostile swarming data cores. Bond pulled taut. Queen's hand brushed hers. Promise amid peril. Laser fire scorched walls as they rounded the bend. 2 guards fell. Cloaks marked Hearth. Mara sedated the lead shooter mid-charge. Vera slashed the flanker's leg. Queen precise. Kesh breached the vault door, rifle barking. Inside, Chancellor Freeth spun from the console, polished robes askew, monarch. This fracture serves evolution. Vera advanced, dagger low. Your batons wounded my air. Yield. Wraith sneered. Activating a holodump. File spilling. Supply sabotages. Assassin manifests. Mara's scanner pinged positives. All palace sourced. Proof sealed, she said. Voice steel. Kesh cuffed him. Crest rigid. Alarms shifted. Fleet signatures loyal. Coup crumbled. Vira faced Mara amid the glow. Bondmate. Your eyes saw what ours missed. Human clarity. Pheromones wove invitation deeper. Mara holstered her hypo, felt the pull settle. Trust forged, romance kindling. But Hreath laughed from bonds. One blade down. The nest runs deep. Tali's comm beeped. Ward breach alert. Mara spun. Not over. Vera nodded. To her. Shadows stirred in the vents. Next strike inbound. Mara hypo-sprayed the vent grate. A scaly hand jerked back, screeching. She kicked the panel loose. 3 infiltrators tumbled out, claws flashing. Vera's dagger sliced the first throat. Blood sprayed iridescent. Keshral's rifle cracked twice. Heads burst. Mara sedated the last mid-leap. It crumpled at her feet. Tali! Mara gasped, bond throbbing like a live wire. They sprinted, corridors blurred, sealed doors hissing open at Vera's override. Tali's ward loomed, lights flickering. Keshral breached first. Clear, but traces. Mara rushed to the bed. Tali stirred, eyes wide. Mama. Doc. Safe now. Mara scanned her. Vitals steady, but toxin markers lingered. Palace-sourced, like the data dump showed. The poison came through my supplies. Vera gripped the bed rail, crest flaring. Prest's network. Cut it out. Mara nodded, mind racing. Supplies logged every touch. Saboteur inside medbay. Time to bait. Shortage alert. Mara keyed into the console. Antidote vials low. Emergency order. 1 sealed unit from Central Pharmacy. Priority to Princess Ward. Keshral's eyes narrowed. Trap. Smart trap. Mara prepped a marker. Harmless nanites. Glow under UV. Invisible till scanned. Whoever touches it lights up. Vera's pheromones spiked approval. Brushing Mara's skin like warm silk. Execute. Keshral vanished into shadows. Minutes later, his comm buzzed low. Guards in civvies. Service tunnels covered. Delivery inbound. Mara sealed the vial, injected marker, handed it to a runner drone. Watched the holomap. Path snaking through under levels. Tali tugged her sleeve. You smell like safety. Mara smiled. Hypo ready. Stay put, kiddo. Drone pinged arrival at pharmacy subdepot. Guards reported. Handoff clean. Then a fork. 2 routes. Keshral's voice cut in. Split, tracking both. Mara synced her scanner. Nanites pinged faint. Movement toward East Tunnel. Civilian garb shifted. A tech in gray robes palmed the vial duplicate. Real one glowed stronger west. West runner, she said. Intercept. Laser bursts echoed faintly. Keshral growled. Triumph. Secured. Handler pinned. They moved as one. Mara, Vera, Keshral flanking. Bond pulled Mara forward, Queen's stride matching hers. Palace core buzzed with post-coup tension. Courtiers whispered. Guards saluted sharper. Hreath's detention cell gleamed sterile. He stood cuffed, robes pristine despite chaos. Vera entered first, Mara at her side. Keshral shoved the handler forward, a wiry aide. Robes marked Chancellor's seal. Hands glowed blue under Mara's UV wand. Marker from my vial, Mara said. You handled it post-sabotage logs. Poison traces matched Tali's blood. Handler crumbled. Chancellor ordered reroutes. For purity. Hreath's mandibles clicked. Protocol. Human stocks unvetted. Vera's voice iced the air. Lies end. Your authority freezes. Guards, isolate his faction. Keshral hauled the handler out. Courtiers outside gasped. Holoscreens lit with the glow-proof broadcast. Hreath lunged against cuffs. Fools! This human brews biowarfare. Alarms wailed anew. Palace-wide comms blared Hreath's engineered feed. Mara's face, vial hollow. Toxin scans twisted. Human medic poisons air. Arrest the outsider. Guards hesitated. Crests flickering doubt. Courtiers surged, claws out. Purity, purity. Vera shoved Mara behind her. Stand down. Proof? Too late. Keshral wrestled a loyalist back. Laser fire cracked overhead. Bond yanked taut. Mara felt Vera's rage pulse through it. Mara drew hypo. Not dying here. She sedated 2 charging aides, calm amid screams, but Hreath laughed from his cell, eyes gleaming. Nest stirs. Your human compassion is the blade. Tali's comm screamed again. Word lockdown failing. Shadows boiled in the halls. Vera grabbed Mara's hand. To her. We end this. They plunged back into the fray. Mara's boots pounded polished floors slick with panic sweat. The bond thrummed, Veyra's resolve stealing her own. Courtiers parted or lunged. Keshral cleared paths with rifle butts. "Bio-warfare lies," Veyra bellowed. Her pheromones flooded the corridor, commanding submission. Crests drooped among the wavering. One guard broke ranks. Hreath loyalist. Mara sidestepped his baton, jammed hypo into his neck. He dropped, twitching. "Nicely done, bondmate," Veyra murmured, slashing another's arm. They hit Tally's ward. Door buckled. 3 saboteurs inside, ripping IV lines. Mara charged. Sedated the nearest. Veyra's dagger felled the second. Keshral blasted the third through the wall panel. Tally huddled under blankets, unharmed. Scary people. Mara scooped her up. Scarier gone. Scan confirmed. No new toxins, but calms raged. Krith's accusations spread. Fleet ships querying. Outer clans stirring. Veyra keyed throne override. All units. Human cleared. Marker proves palace betrayal. Hreath isolated. Holoscreens flipped. Glowproof replayed. Doubts cracked. Loyalists stood down. Keshral dragged in another handler. Tunnel scout. Talks fast. Names Harith's inner circle. Veyra nodded. Round them. Mara set Tali down. Checked bonds. Kid's eyes shone. "You fight like mama. Teamwork." Mara ruffled her crest. Pheromones deepened. Veyra's gaze lingered. Promise in the weave. Hand brushed Mara's waist. Electric. But Hreath's voice hacked through a subcom. "You bind to weakness. Human taint spreads." Keshral smashed the source. Too late. Panic seeds planted. Fleet pinged urgent. Quarantine demand inbound. Veyra pulled Mara close. "They test us. We prove." Bond sealed tighter. Romance flickered amid steel. Trust. Heat building. Tali yawned. "Story later?" Mara smiled. Promise. Alarms shifted. Outer breach. Hreath's elites rallying. "Not over," Keshral growled. Veyra's dagger gleamed. "Then we hunt." Mara holstered hypo. Human grit met alien fire. Nest awaited. They moved out. Shadows no match. Deeper intel unspooled from captured aides. Hreath's faction poisoned supplies for months. Thinning rivals. Framing outsiders. Tali first real hit. Mara cross-checked medlogs. My faked shortage nailed 3. More routes open. Keshral prepped teams. City plants ready. Bait 2. Veyra oversaw from throne nexus. Tali curled beside. Human trap excels. Our blades finish. Mara felt the pull. Queen's pride warming her core. Fingers intertwined under console. Soft promise. Deliveries launched. Markers glowed trails. Intercepts piled. 4 more handlers, all Hreath marked. Proof mounted. Queen broadcast full. Glowing hands. Toxin matches. Chancellor usurps. Throne purges. Court bowed. Fleet stood down. Hreath. Dragged to open trial. Sneered. Her healing hides plagues. Scan her blood. Panic flickered anew. Aides whispered. Human bioweapons legend. Guards gripped weapons tighter. Veyra froze him mid-rant. Test her. Publicly. Mara rolled sleeve. Scanner hummed. Clean. Human baseline. No markers. Crowd murmured awe. Pure. Preth thrashed. Deeper scan, she carriers. Veyra's pheromones crushed doubt. Exile him. Nest crumbles. But as cuffs tightened, Hreath's elite burst from vents. Final strike. Laser fire erupted. Mara shielded Tali. Veyra slashed. Laser fire scorched the air inches from Mara's head. She dove, pinning Tali tighter to the floor. The princess whimpered, tiny claws digging into Mara's arm. Veyra's blade whipped out, severing an assassin's rifle barrel. Keshral roared, tackling another from the vents. Mara's hand flew to her holster. Hypo ready. She jabbed the nearest elite's neck. Sedative flood. The figure crumpled, scales twitching. Tali, stay down. Mara shoved the child behind a console. Veyra spun, pheromones thick with fury. Her claws raked 2 more, green blood spraying. Keshral's team poured in from side doors, blades flashing. Lasers pinged off armor. Mara rolled, grabbed a fallen pistol. Human grip steady. She fired precise bursts, knees, shoulders, non-lethal takedowns. 3 down. Hreath lunged from his guards, eyes wild.
Kill the human!
A blade grazed Mara's shoulder. Pain flared hot and sharp. She countered with elbow strike. Human bone cracked alien jaw. Hreath staggered. Veyra's tail lashed. She pinned him against the throne dais. Endgame, Chancellor. Her voice cut like ice. Guards swarmed the vents. Last assassin dropped, webbed in restraint silk. Silence fell, broken only by Hreath's ragged breaths. Keshral cuffed him fully, dragging him center stage. Court nobles stared, pheromones sour with shock. Mara rose, checking Tali. The girl's wounds held, stitches firm, no bleed. You're safe. Tali nodded, wide eyes gleaming trust. Queen Veyra straightened, blood-flecked but regal. Tribunal convenes, now. She gestured to the grand chamber doors. Guards hauled Hreath through. Mara followed, Tali's hand in hers. Keshral fell in step, scanning for threats. The tribunal hall loomed, vast dome etched with hive histories. Nobles packed tiered benches, whispers buzzing like insects. Queen Veyra ascended the central dais. Mara walked forward alone, sleeve rolled from the earlier scan. Clean blood still fresh on scanners. Hareth sneered from chains. Her healing hides plagues. Deeper proof. Veyra's gaze locked on Mara. Prove your methods, Doctor. Demonstrate. Mara nodded. No speeches. Action. She signaled a guard. Bring a wounded from the fight. One limped forward. Laser burn on thigh. Scales charred. Court leaned in. Mara knelt. Kit open. First, assess. Fingers probed gently. No bone hit. She pulled antiseptic gel, applied in swift strokes. Kills infection without weakening tissue. Nano spray next. Sealed the wound. Pain blockers humming. The guard flexed. Healed. No pain. Gasps rippled. Hreath spat. Trickery. Mara ignored him. Next. Poison case. She held up a toxin vial from evidence. Your supply taint. Injected antidote demo on a neutralizer pad. Color shifted. Neutral. Breaks bonds in seconds. Human baseline, nobles murmured. Pure efficiency. Doors parted. Princess Tali entered, unassisted. Her side bore faint stitches. Human thread, already fading under alien regen. She climbed the dais unaided, faced the court. Dr. Klein saved me. Voice clear, pheromones blooming gratitude. Her hands closed my wounds when blades failed. I live because of her. Tali touched the scar. Court erupted, cheers mixed with stunned silence. Hreath's face paled. Veyra raised a hand. Silence crashed down. The human excels where our traditions falter. Her pheromones shifted, warm, binding. Eyes met Mara's, intense. To shield my heir, I offer formal vow. Marriage bond, legal anchor to our nest. Gasps echoed. Nobles shifted. Hreath laughed bitterly. Bind the outsider? Madness. Veyra's tail flicked challenge. Dare contest royal decree? She saves. We secure. Mara's pulse quickened. Bond meant proximity, forced, permanent. But Tali's eyes pleaded. Queen's gaze promised more. Partnership. Heat. Mara stepped forward. I accept. Paused. Court held breath. Revised terms. Whispers peaked. Veyra tilted head. Name them. Permanent medical independence for the ward. Mara gestured to Tali's wing of the palace. My team accesses all supplies. No oversight. Full authority on treatments. Human methods integrated. No interference. Hreath snarled. She demands control. Veyra's pheromones flooded approval. Granted. Bond seals it. She extended, claw-tipped hand. Mara clasped it. Skin to scale. Warm pulse sinking. Queen's touch lingered, thumb tracing Mara's palm. Promise deepened. Court bowed as one. Veyra reigns eternal. Mara and Veyra turned, descending together. Queen's arm brushed hers. Subtle claim. Keshral moved opposite, voice low. Co-conspirator secured. He nodded to shadows. A noble in Hareth's livery dragged out. Silk restraints tight. Hreath thrashed. This isn't over. Humans corrupt. Veyra's blade silenced him mid-drag to cells. Mara felt the weight settle. Bond locked. Politics. pulled, but Tali ran ahead, giggling. Nestmate! They exited to private halls. Guards, sealed doors. Zayra leaned close, breath warm on Mara's neck, terms-wise. You anchor us. Mara met her eyes. Partnership, not pawn. Hand squeezed back. Keshral saluted. Ward secured. Your orders, Doctor? Deeper halls beckoned. Supplies waited. But Veyra's pull tugged stronger. Nest chambers ahead. Fingers intertwined fully now. Heat built. Tali skipped. Show her the glow vines, Mara smiled. Bond tested. Trust earned. Coup crushed, yet whispers lingered. Kreeth's faction scattered, not gone. Veyra's voice dropped.
Hunt resumes tonight with you.
Mara nodded. Human grit meshed alien fire. Nest called. Laser scars faded under Mara's care. Guards reported full recovery. Tali's laughter echoed first true peace. But intel trickled. Kreeth's off-world allies signaled. Fleet edges stirred. Veyra pulled Mara into side chamber. Door hissed shut. Bond demands truth. Her claws traced Mara's healed shoulder. Gentle. You shielded my blood. Now claim yours. Mara's breath caught. Queen's pheromones wrapped intimate. Lips met. Scale soft. Electric. Human heart raced. Alien rhythm matched. Pull sharpened. Not just duty, desire. Keshral's calm buzzed. Perimeter breach. Kreeth loyalist. They raw broke kiss. Eyes fierce. Together. Mara grabbed Kit. Lead. They burst into action. Bond forged in fire. Tali waited safe. Mara vowed silently. Protect them all. Court stabilized. Nobles pledged anew. But Mara scanned logs. Anomalies hid. More poison traces. Subtle. Veyra nodded. Your eyes see. Trust solidified. Romance bloomed amid blades. Hours blurred. Interrogations yielded maps. Hidden caches. Keshral's teams raided. Mara prepped mass antidotes. Human efficiency scaled alien need. One raid, trap sprung. Ambush. Mara hypod 3. Veyra slashed 4. Keshral covered. Seamless. Back in nest, Tali curled between. Family. Veyra's hand found Mara's undersheets. Ours. Dawn broke. Final loyalist cornered. Wraith's voice crackled calm. Surrender her! Mara smashed it. Never! Blades fell. Victory. But Queen's whisper lingered. Deeper threats loom. Bond eternal? Mara's terms held. Yes. Human compassion conquered. Alien throne endured. Yet stars whispered war. Fleet massed distant. Next hunt called. Mara holstered hypo. Ready. Veyra's kiss sealed night. Passion ignited. Tali dreamed. Safe. Nest thrived. Bond unbreakable. Court reconvened days later. Mara at Veyra's side. Official consort. Nobles bowed deeper. Tali presented healed fully, scales glossy. Human gift, Tali declared. Cheers thundered. Wreath.